Tage, what is this about this team? Why does it refuse to lose, first off?
I mean, I think we've been in situations all season that have prepared us for games like this. You know, it's another level and the intensity ramps up, but, you know, we've been in situations where we've been behind in games and found our way, you know, out of them. So I think when you do that, you get confidence, and when you're in similar situations, you know you can do it again.
Mattias, how fun was it riding that momentum that Tage created with the 2 goals, and then for you, to, with the crowd already still buzzing, for you to score? What did that feel like?
Yeah, I think the crowd was great all night, obviously. Obviously, Tom got us going there, and the place just erupted, and you could feel the energy building. You know, I think as a group, we thought once we crack them, we could roll from there, and obviously Tom got us going, and the fans helped a ton. Yeah, just tried to pile it on as much as we can.
Tage, can you just describe the mood in the locker room in the second period? Rasmus was saying, you know, no panic, focus. Can you just describe it in your own words?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what I said before, like we've been in situations like this most of the season, and you gain confidence from that, and I think it was no different tonight, even though it's, you know, a lot of our first playoff games. The energy's a lot better and the intensity is higher, but in between periods, I thought we did a good job just staying pretty even keel. You know, to be honest, I thought we outplayed them for the first 2 periods. Controlled most of the play, and like Sammy said, knew if we, you know, we could get one, we'd probably get a couple more, and obviously Upi does a great job keeping us in there until we can find our first one, and just started to roll from there.
Tage, Tage, you talk about the team mentality after 40 minutes, but for you personally, if you look at the 2 goals that you scored, it felt like you were really imposing your will, like they were real individual efforts. So what was going through your mind in terms of just what you wanted to do in that period and just trying to impose your will?
Well, I don't think by any means it was individual effort. I think if you look at both those plays, it's from both of my line mates forechecking and disrupting and causing a turnover, and you know, I'm in the right spot where a puck finds me off their pressure, and I think those 2 goals are exactly what we wanted to do all night. Put pucks behind them, pound their D, make it a tough night on them, and just hit the repeat button on that. You know, you go back for enough pucks, it's pretty exhausting, and create loose pucks and get chances from there, and fortunately they went in for us.
Mattias, on your goal, obviously you guys tied the game up. The crowd's going crazy. The momentum's in your favor. How much were you on your toes and, you know, attacking the net in that play, and what did you see in terms of getting the pass and, you know, making a play there when the team needed it?
Yeah, I saw Twos or Quinter come out of the corner kind of with the puck, and not sure where the winger was, but I thought it was pretty open there, and yeah, just tried to call for it. Quinter made an unbelievable play, and you know, thought he could slip a short side there, and yeah, I mean, the fans are unbelievable. You know, going out after we tied it there, you could feel the energy within the group, the belief within the group. I mean, you could feel it all game, but just the energy the fans provided, just kept trying to roll with that.
So Mattias, what was it like when you guys saw Tage's second one go in, and then Tage, same question about Mattias's goal when you saw the third one go in? Because it just all happened so fast in a couple minutes there.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think the belief was ever wavered. You know, we just tried to stick with the process. Obviously, Tomer made some really nice plays there and stuck a couple in. I just think we just had a lot of belief within the group. Yeah, we just tried to ride the momentum with the fans, and yeah, it worked out nice.
Tage, Rasmus said after the game that you guys say to each other, dogs have to be dogs. How much have you guys kind of just embraced, like when you're in those tough spots, just being those guys that can pull this team out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's up and down our lineup. I think we want to go into games being the guys that are going to make a difference, and I think every guy in the NHL, especially on our team, is a guy that wants to go over the boards and make an impact every time they touch the sheet. I think if you don't, then you probably shouldn't be playing this sport. So yeah, it's a little mantra we like to tell each other, and see who can be a game changer. And these are the kind of games you live for. You want to be in these games, and it's been a long time coming. So yeah, it was a fun first one for sure.
Guys, is there a kind of confidence that comes from having played this type of game? Obviously a different scenario because it's playoffs, but this kind of game where you get down but you come back in it no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it's every game means so much. It's every shift means so much, and I think there's just way more desperation, and you never know what's going to be the turning point in a series and in a game. And I think for us as a group, we just want to make sure we're just focused on a shift at a time, not looking too far down the road and not looking in the rear view. I think that's kind of something we've been doing all season that's gotten us to this point. So we've had success with it, and that's kind of mentality we need moving forward.
Tage, I'm half joking here, but one of the narratives going in here was this team lacking playoff experience. How much do you think you proved that narrative wrong today?
Yeah, I mean, lack of experience. I mean, we've been in games that have prepared us for this. I think 8 years of adversity is enough experience to get you ready for something like this. I think anytime you go for 8 years and not making playoffs and then it's finally here, the last thing you want is regret. And there's just a heightened feeling of hunger. You just don't want to let this opportunity slip, and thought tonight was really important to make a statement and set our standard. And I think we still have another level to get to, and we're just going to keep trying every game to find another level.
This question's for both Tage and for Mattias. A lot of firsts tonight. First playoff game, first goals, first home playoff game. How do you take what this team built in game one, sustain that and carry that into game two?
I think we learned a lot just about the highs and lows in games and series. I think that was a good learning lesson for us tonight. Yeah, just take that in the game too. There's going to be times you're down. There's guys are going to make mistakes. Just about stepping up when you need to and making the right play when you can. And yeah, I mean, there's going to be things that happen throughout this series, and I think we learned a lot of that tonight. But the belief in the group never wavers.
Tage, obviously you don't dwell on it a lot in the moment, but coming out for Buffalo's first playoff hockey game in 15 years, what was that seeing like, just sort of coming out on the ice?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Didn't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. Kind of been thinking about it all day. Last few days, actually. Last half of the season, the fans have been unbelievable, and it's been so much fun to play in front of them and be able to, string some winning games for them and find ourselves in playoffs. And didn't know what the next level, I guess, for the fan base could get to, and that was pretty exciting to see coming out for warm-ups, and it was already almost full. Just a ton of energy, and tonight's game was just full of emotion, I think, for everyone. So I was happy that we could come out on the right side of it.
Last one was Matt. Hey, you mentioned, on your goals, both of them, you're getting pucks deep, you're forcing turnovers. Like, did you have a feeling as the game went on it was going to take kind of some of those hard-working, greasy goals to get through on Swayman, because he was pretty locked in early?
Yeah, he's a great goalie, so I think anytime he's seeing clean shots here, you're going to have a tough time beating him. You got to get traffic, you got to get bodies there and disrupt him and try to get him off his game any way you can. And it's just death by 1,000 cuts, I think, and you just keep wearing on him until finally crack them, and you know, we did. And I think as a group we knew if we could get one, it was going to go our way. So you know, that's going to be the same thing moving forward. And it's I think in games like this, when both teams are playing really hard defensively, those are the kind of goals you got to score. You got to get around the net, and you get greasy.
Lindy, how did you pull that one off? I mean, you guys were coming and coming, but you couldn't get anything by Swayman. What changed?
Well, I think we won a couple battles there down low. I thought if you look at the goals, a couple of the battles below the goal line, coming out of the corners. You look at the play that Quinn came out of the corner, got it to Samuelsson. You look at the play where Tuck was in the battle and Tomer came out with it. We beat their guys back to the front of the net, and both those plays turned into goals.
Lindy, you've been in this building for more big games than maybe anybody. How did that feeling compare before puck drop?
Somebody said, have you ever been in one like that in the playoffs? And I said, well, with a couple thousand games, I think so, but I don't know. You could feel the building shaking again. Even upstairs, I guess they said the same thing. The atmosphere was unbelievable, and it was great to give our fans, you know, that third period was, you know, you always wonder what you're going to come out and how you're going to come out. We didn't make enough good plays. I think our puck play, we were a little bit jittery. That hurt us. It hurt us in a lot of aspects of our game, but that last 10 minutes, I really felt we got our game in a good place.
Lindy, you get the game even. Thompson makes a couple plays. How much did you just sense the crowd, your bench, the guys on the ice? You saw what happened with Samuelsson's goal. Everybody got on their toes, and they almost felt like that's not going to be 2-2 in overtime. There's more to come.
Yeah, I mean, their defensive structure is good. I mean, there's a reason that they were able to make it, and they're like I said, you got two good teams playing hockey. They're two good teams that, I mean, we made a couple mistakes. They made us pay for the early mistake in the third period. We made them pay for those couple mistakes down low where we beat guys back to the front of the net. They weren't getting beat early on. I think maybe, you know, some of our physicality wore them down. I thought Samuelsson was an absolute stud in the game. We're running over people and physical, but the fact we were able to wear them down after a while, I think, made a difference.
Coach, the power play at times got booed tonight by the crowd. Do you consider changing everything about it, or is it too late in the year?
No. You know, some of the best power plays have been together for a long time. Players have been together for a long time. You can't just start changing everything. There's a lot of little areas in that power play. The first power play was really good. I thought after that we digressed a little bit, but no, we're not going to change everything. We've got to execute at a higher level. We've got to break their pressure and understand where that's going to be, like we did on the first power play. And then sometimes you just have to flat out win more battles. Like you watch our penalty killing against their power play. They got a good power play too. It's hard. This time of year, the teams that make it typically have good penalty killers.
Lindy, there have been a lot of firsts for this team tonight, this week, this season. What did you learn about your team in its first playoff game together?
The same thing I learned all year long. This team doesn't quit. They don't give up. We've had. Let's just go back to the Tampa game where, you know, Tampa built a lead late, and we just came back in that game. And tonight, we just said if we get one, I felt we would get the second one. The energy on the bench, the energy in the building after we got the first one, I just felt we're going to have a good look to get the next one, because we were garnering a lot of the offensive zone play. It was just whether we could break them down and get that good chance. And I thought, you know, that top line did it a couple times, and Quinn made his play, and just felt that we finally got them to a place where we created the turnovers that we needed.
It's almost overshadowed by all the goals late, but Ukko-Pekka's performance, he stops 2 David Pastrnak breakaways. Just what did you think of him tonight?
Yeah, I thought he played great for us. He gave us a chance to get back in the game. They didn't have a lot of opportunities, but we gave them a couple big ones with, when you talk about the breakaways. I mean, we're well aware that, you know, in our offensive zone play that he will take off. We hung in there just a little bit too long, and that we're going to have to be better at next game.
What did you think of the energy when you walked in the locker room in between the second and third period?
Just talks about getting back in the game. That if we trust what we're doing and continue to do it well, we'll get an opportunity to score goals. The energy was good. There was nobody there. We weren't talking about, you know, no chance or you know, we got to do this better, that. We knew there were some areas of the game needed to be better, but part of this is believing in how you play and trusting how you play and continue to play that way.
Lindy, you mentioned it a little bit, but Samuelsson had 9 hits tonight. What kind of impact does that have on a game?
I mean, just, you know, we talked about making sure that we finished people when we had the opportunity, that we took them out of the play, or that in our zone we were able to kill plays right away, so we broke out. And I thought, like I said, I thought by far he was our most physical, and I mean, he gets rewarded with the goal, and he played a heck of a game from the way he moved the puck to the way he ended up scoring.
Lindy, is there a kind of confidence that comes with this team, because you've played this kind of game throughout the season? Granted, it's playoffs, it's a different setting, but you've played this exact kind of game and come out on top so many times this year.
Yeah, I think we can. You know, I liked our first period. We went after him. We were out shooting, and we did a lot of good things. We just didn't quite get inside and around the net enough. We know we have to be better in some areas. We're going to just continue to try to play our game, and in every game we're going to try to improve. I think there's areas we can improve for sure, and that's what a 7-game series is all about. What are they going to do? What are we going to do? We know there's areas that we're going to have to get better at. You look at the second goal we gave up. It's a goal that in our structure we shouldn't have 2 guys open.
Lindy, after Tage's second goal, do you need to tell the team anything like, go for it now? Look what we are doing right now, or do you have to even say anything?
I didn't have to tell him anything. I mean, I'm hoarse as it is from yelling. A couple of those were at the officials, but the bench was electric. I mean, the players were talking about going and getting a third one. And there was the energy on the bench, the emotion on the bench was where you needed to be in a playoff game.
You mentioned earlier this week that after one shift, guys kind of have playoff experience. After a game like that, how much do you feel like the whole playoff experience thing kind of goes out the window?
Yeah, well, I told him right after the game, you want experience, you got it now. I mean, what an experience. I mean, if you're going to say this was my first playoff game, you've got a great story to tell.
Coach, to segue that question about playoff experience, which one feels so much sweeter, your first playoff win ever as a coach or this one tonight?
This one right here, right now. Now we just got to go try to win one more. But this was probably the sweetest of all of them. Thank you.